Welcome. I'm Meredith. This is the Oasis Spiritual Empowerment Tarot. All about tarot, oracle, and empowering you. We have another unboxing. Okay, I took it out of the box, but you know what I mean. And this really jumped the line, only because it's a few things, and I wouldn't be able to put them away because they were taking up too much space. So this is a little mini haul from the last Hay House sale. They were really pushing the books. There were a bunch of books that were like $8, and other books were discounted and things like that. So let's start with the books and we'll end with the decks. And of course, remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so you get alerted when I post new videos. So many unboxings coming. And I have a VR coming. And I have, like 2 or 3 deep dives and a few other videos. So I'm trying so hard to knock these out. But, okay. So now for the books, we're just going to do like a quick look, So the first book I got is The Power of Vital Force, Ancient Secrets to Transform How You Think, Feel, and Act by Rajari Patel. Forward by Dave Asprey. This book, so I started reading this one. I didn't get very far yet, but I'm very intrigued by this book. So when I read nonfiction, there are a couple of different reasons for it, I guess. One is just to interest me, right? And I'm curious about it or whatever. But another is I want to, gain this knowledge for myself. Another is to gain knowledge for my clients. And I think that's kind of what I was thinking with this book. In particular, I just felt like there could be some great gems in here for my clients. It's a really it's an interesting book, and it's so far here's the thing. When we learn new stuff, right, either it's not new and you're not really learning, right, because everything is exactly what you believe or what you know or what you understand, right? Or there are things that like a Venn diagram, they kind of overlap into your worldview, into your body of knowledge. And those things are easier to accept because there's that likeness, right? So, oh, yes. I don't know this, but this was yes, this was yes, this was yes. So that must be yes, which isn't always true. But that's the way minds work, right? Then we get stuff that's completely outside of our understanding or our knowledge, and those things can be harder to take in because they're so foreign. This book, I definitely think there's a great overlap for me. And again, doesn't necessarily mean any of it's right or necessarily useful. I believe it's going to be, though. Does that make sense? But yeah, I love the way it feels. It feels really nice to pick up and read. So I'm excited to finish that. So then I got The Heart of the Shaman by Alberto Villoldo. Stories and Practices of the Luminous Warrior. So I really like him. He's an anthropologist, and a lot of times his books come from that perspective. There are all these experiences that he had that I really enjoy, and for me, I found a lot of great gems peppered in his work. Even just, I've seen interviews with him that have really sparked things for me to use with my clients. So I'm very excited to read this, and he has, oh God, what are the The Way of the Shaman, maybe, and the Shaman's Dream. I forget. He's got 2 oracle decks that I absolutely adore. So yeah, but he's got a ton of books. And here's another one. This is Soul Journeying, Shamanic Tools for Finding Your Destiny and Recovering Your Spirit. And again, I'm just, he's a psychologist too. Really, really interesting man. And I love that we have all these exercises here. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this as well. And these are, not super thick, so they'll be very quick reads. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to these. Okay, and the last one. This is Theta Healing, Introducing an Extraordinary Energy Healing Modality by Vianna Steibel, creator of Theta Healing. So I am an energy worker. That's, look, if you're not familiar with me, I'm a hypnotist. I'm a spiritual life coach. And I'm an energy worker. And I use that, even when somebody comes to me just for, I just want to quit smoking, hypnosis. Yeah. Energy is still, best sessions, you're using a lot of energy. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. But the point is, I guess because of that, this interested me. Now I'm going to tell you right up front. Hey, house, what the heck? Look how faint that print is, right? Compared to. And we could compare it to any of the other books. Right? Look at that huge difference. This one, easily readable. Love it. This one, come on. So, I don't know what Hay House was doing, but I'm not thrilled with that. It's very faint. And when it's bold, it's fine. But most of it's not bold. So I don't love that. So this is a book that, it's not a strain to read, but it's not comfortable to read. You know what I mean? You definitely would want like a bright light. But anyway, so this intrigues me. And so here's the deal with this too. So the author had cancer in her femur, tried all conventional alternative medicine, failed, blah, blah, blah. And she basically healed herself, right? That's the whole premise behind this is that process, I guess, that she used. Now, here's one of the things. Remember I was talking about that overlap? Here's an overlap. How you can instantly change any negative thinking within you that creates illness. I believe very strongly that we create our reality every day in every way by that little voice in the back of your head telling you things about yourself, about the world. That creates your reality, And if you don't believe me and you're curious, there's a really easy experiment you can do to notice. So I would kind of take stock of yourself and your worldview for a moment, right? There's a lot that's been going on politically, for sure. Just a lot. There's been a lot, right? There has. Maybe that's been a source of distress. Maybe it hasn't. Whatever it's been, take that opposite view just for a moment. So if, for example, if you were thinking like, the world's falling apart, everybody's awful, blah, 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 if you're going down that path, just spend one day or even 1 hour, because I think an hour can be enough for you to notice the difference. You want to start by writing. Write that opposite stuff. Write, that, maybe that life is a pendulum, all of life. If you look back over history, things swing to one side, then they swing to another, and somehow, sort of ends up in that middle ground. It ends up being okay, right? Maybe write down how, everybody has positive intentions. It doesn't mean that they always do positive things for others or for themselves, but they start with a positive intention. Nobody sets out trying to be the bad guy. They really don't. And when you go out into the world, then maybe try to look at people from that lens. So if you encounter a less than positive person, maybe kind of stop and consider what's that intention within them that somehow got distorted. This is somebody who came into this world as this pure, innocent, sweet little baby who never did anything bad to anyone, who just wanted to be loved and to give love. That sweet little baby who deserved all the care, all the attention, all the safety and love. And somewhere along the way, perhaps those things were lacking, were taken, were stolen. And so that person before you is a symptom of that sweet, innocent child who deserved all the love, all the care, only wonderful things. That person before you is someone who should have been cradled and carried and kissed, sung to sleep, and loved beyond all things. And maybe they were, but maybe they weren't. And sometimes when you can see people through that lens, you can give them a bit more grace. And sometimes when you see yourself through that lens, you can give yourself more grace. And I went totally off on a different path from where I was going. So I do believe that you hear what you need. So if that meant something to you, maybe that's why I went down that path. Okay, now let's just get into the cards. So I got 3 decks. We're going to start with the one that I already have, because it's a mini. So I love this deck, right? So here's the regular, and it's by Abiola Abrams, and it's African Goddess Rising Oracle. This is a great, gorgeous deck. So, and I'm only pulling it out because I want you to see, excuse me, the difference in size between the two. But we're going to open this one. Look at those backs. They're so pretty. Still no idea where my scissors are, but I found my pocket knife. So, yeah, I have more knives just in random places, because you never know when you might need one. I'm just saying. Okay, so look how cute. It's so cute. Now I'm going to tell you off the bat, this print is a little tough to read. But I don't need to read the box, so I'm not worried about that. You called upon the goddesses, and the goddesses called you. You are being called to bear witness to your own joy, magic, and power. Will you heed the call? So is that what's in? I'm just curious. Oh yeah, this one's easier to read. I mean, it's bigger. But I still managed. So, oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at this itty bitty guidebook. It's so cute. Actually, I'll tell you, they did a really good job. Because I can read this. So, as small as it is, it's not bad. I wonder if we're missing, just anything at a glance. So, we don't get the black and white image, but, who cares? You have the deck. You don't really need that. So, let's just see if there's anything else that we don't have. Okay. No? Wait, this might have been updated. Vampires. Oh, no, it's not the same. Yeah. So, we have all the same text that we had in that big book. The only thing we don't have is the black and white image of the cards, which again, who cares? Just want to see if there's anything else that... Okay, so the big one does talk about the cards, and it's got some spreads. Let's see. Oh, we still get that here. They did a really good job in getting this into a small form, I have to say, because again, it's readable. It's small, but I can read it without reading glasses or anything. Yeah, really nice. Okay. So, in case you can't tell, I was a little surprised. I was honestly expecting to either not be able to read it or to have a lot of stuff cut out, but they did a great job. Okay. So now, oh my goodness. Look at from the band. Alright, so, you're not going to be able to see. Let's just do like this. So to show you the size difference, right? So here's the original, of course, the standard tarot, and here's this new pocket. So, significantly shorter than the original and standard tarot. A little more narrow than standard tarot, good bit more narrow than the original. Now, if you have not seen this deck before, I don't think I did an unboxing of the large one because I think I've had it, longer than I've had my channel. But let's go ahead and go through it. Well, let's take a look at the cardstock too. I'm curious what that's going to be like. It feels very similar. This feels a little thicker. I wonder if that's because of the size, though. Sometimes, when it's a smaller deck, it could be the exact same cardstock, but it feels thicker. But it's right about there. Okay. So this is all out of order. I do want to show you at least a couple, though, just so you can really compare the difference in, like, the details of the images. Because if you're thinking, oh, I want one of the decks, but I only need one, which one do I want? So, here, for example, with this first card, we have Nana Baluku, Seasons. Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you can see more fine detail with this. Now, I'm really familiar with this deck, too, so it's hard for me to say. You tell me. Can you make out her face and everything? Well, that's the only part I'm not sure about, honestly. I love this card. You know what? I will say. Let me see if I can. Let's say we found that one. Let's see if we find. Now, they are both decks have the numbers right in the corner, which does make it easy to find a specific card. So, alright, so this is Maulisa, Cosmic Power. This is such a pretty card. There's a lot of darkness right here, if you're trying to see details, but it's here too. So, I don't know. What do you think? Is there a difference in the darkness and being able to see the details between the two? I don't know that there is. I mean, it's just, it's just the image. So I'm just going to go through kind of quickly, I guess. If there's one that seems like, yeah, maybe you should see a comparison. I'll pull out another. I think for me, I love this card. The names are probably the hardest thing to make out, and it just depends. You know what it is? I think it's the font, which is very pretty, but it can make it a little bit challenging for some of the names, especially, it's ones that I'm not very familiar with. I love this too. Look at that. It's like if you know the word, you're gonna know the word. That's what I think anyway. But love that. But in fairness, even on the large deck, some of them, if I'm not familiar, let me say, there's a couple that I'm just like, maybe there aren't. Okay, when we get to her, I want to see. Now this I can read very easily, right? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but Yamaya, maybe. Oh, this one. Okay. I can read it, but yeah, I can't pronounce it. But I have a feeling those might be challenging in the smaller cards. But you do have that cute little mini guidebook, which will list the names very clearly. So, if that's a concern for you, that's something to bear in mind. Jumbi. Long Bubby Susie. So the only thing, so like here, so this is one that I'm not very familiar with. I don't know if it's a BU. I think it is. The rest is very readable to me. So it just depends. Oh, hi, Aunt Nancy. It's beautiful. I mean, these are such beautiful, wonderful cards. I love this. Medusa for rage. Yeah, it's really fabulous. And this is, on the cover. And it's one of my favorite pictures. It's just, the whole wonderful. I mean, this is just such a great deck. I'm so excited that this is in a pocket version. And I think for me, I'm definitely keeping both copies, the regular and the pocket. And for me, this one, as you might imagine, is definitely going to be one that I'll use for traveling around with it. I think this will be great for online clients, for, Zoom sessions, because I can fit more cards. I think, here we go. Yeah, I mean, I think I can see everything just fine. All right, let's see the next one. Alright, so if I don't see that name there, I'm trying to figure out if I could see it. It's hard for me, for my eyes. So if I pulled this card and I'm like, who the heck is that? I would definitely be pulling out the little book to get the name, But you do have the number, so very easy to find them. Yeah, I think that one was the most challenging in terms of reading the name. Probably because it's so foreign to me too, Okay. So now, let's give this a shuffle. And then I'm going to pick one, read from the guidebook in case you're not familiar with this deck. So you get an idea of what you might see. They shuffle nicely. Now there was that little twinge on the card from the band. I'm not too fussed about it. It wasn't huge, and I definitely want to, well, you can see it, right? But I'm going to edge these, and once I do that, you're not going to see it. So yeah, it shuffles really, really, really nicely. So let's pull one, and then I'll lay them out. So you can see... Okay, I set or surrender. And we are going to use this cute little book, so we'll see how I do. Okay. Alright. Excuse me. Alright. So I set, it tells us is the goddess of spiritual surrender from Nubia, Egypt. And it's, so there's a whole, this is really outside the scope of this. So there's a whole kind of system that I'm not going to get into. Maybe I never did. I don't know. If you want to hear about it, let me know. I don't think I talked about it in previous videos. Maybe I did. But we have temples, high priestesses, and the element is bush. And it says, Goddess Isis is reserved as a magical healer and sorcerer. Is revered. Oh my goodness. That was my fault, not the print. Is revered as a magical healer and sorceress. She of 10,000 names. You may know her as Isis, her Greek name, or Oset, Eset, or Wuset. Isis is worshipped in ancient Nubia. Nubia is like the prettiest word, isn't it? Nubia. I love the way that sounds. I'm sorry. The Sudan region, Egypt and beyond. Let it all go. Oh, this is her guidance, by the way. Let it all go. Say aloud now, I surrender. These words cast a spell. Breathe them in. Then for embodiment, release control. Stop bonding around struggle. Hand the keys to the divine. Allow spirit to carry you and fill in the gaps. You don't have to figure it all out. God or goddess has your back. Have faith in where you are at this moment. And then we have a goddess declaration. Everything I need to know finds me at the perfect time. It's lovely. Okay, so let's lay these out really fast. And if you have the larger deck and you're, kind of interested in the smaller, what am I doing? You could actually work with both in one reading too, which could be really interesting. So, for example, I'm just kind of spitballing right now. Say, because it just occurred to me, so I'm going with it. You could start with the large deck, right? And I don't know. Maybe you're doing a card of the day. Maybe you're just you're looking for some piece of guidance or insight. And you just, whatever it is, and you pull a card. I love this card so much. Okay, so say you have that. Then, cosmic power. Maybe I need to, or maybe I want to kind of tie into that, right? Pulling a card for who can help me or what can help me with that. What do I need to watch out for with that? Where is this going to take me, And I really like surrounding this deck with its own mini, I like surrounding the card with, I just think that's really nice, right? And you might do it more as like a conversational thing. I mean, it's totally up to you, right? But I just think it's interesting. I think I will probably, at least for, a period of time, use these decks together, kind of like that, just to get, I don't know, just to play with them and kind of see how it goes. But I feel like, we could definitely fit these guys. I feel like that could be a really interesting way to work with these cards. Now, of course, each card embodies a goddess, right? Or some aren't exactly goddesses, but whatever. But they still have different energies. They have different messages. So I think you could totally use these to expand upon that single card pull if you want. I think it's very fun. I love the size. I love the size. I think they did a really great job. I think some of the cards are a little bit dark, but they're dark in here too. So I don't think that the size affected it. I think that the cards that are dark are just dark. Which is okay. I do wish there was some, this is such a beautiful card. It is a little dark, but again, right, if we compare, well, see, now I'm saying that, I do think I can see the details a bit better in here, and probably that size, but I think it's still the dark, it's her face. I wish I could see more detail. I don't know, but it's a beautiful, beautiful deck, and it's one of my favorites. So I'm really excited to have this mini, which I can now just easily, comfortably take all over the place. Yeah, and it shuffles beautifully. And if you haven't been here for a while, you might not be aware that smaller decks can be more challenging for me to ruffle shuffle. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like because my hands are big or because my shuffle skills are not that great. But either way, but I had no trouble at all with that one. Okay, let us get into the next deck because I probably spent too long on that. All right, let's do this one. So this is The Signs of the Times Oracle by Crystal Banner. I love that. This is very, very, very different from any of my other decks, and I like that, So, the heck, I just cut this open. Where'd it go? Okay, here we go. So I am really intrigued by this one. So, this is the sign you are waiting for. While you are waiting for a sign from above, the universe has been sending you messages right here on Earth. The signs and symbols in this 44-card deck look to be just a part of the landscape at first, but open your senses and your mind to the messages they contain, and you will find the answers you are looking for. All right, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing. You can if you want to pause. But let's just. Oh, I love those backs. Look at that. Love the backs, and I love this card stock. Okay. So just a quick look. If you want more information, you can visit crystalwithak banner.com. Hopefully that focuses. So really, really briefly. And she also did Absolute Affirmations, 44 positive affirmation cards. Okay, so just briefly. What we have an introduction, working with the oracle, readings, card spreads, and then we get into the meanings. And it looks like each card has 2 pages. Then we have acknowledgments and about the author. So we have a black and white image of the card. Have about a paragraph and then a smaller paragraph for additional meanings. And we have a title and a keyword, which seem to be on the cards. Yes. Okay, let's do size. A little taller, good deal wider than a standard tarot. I love it's that really nice papery matte. So, and it fans out, nicely. Consider there's no gloss, but I think it fans out really well. Okay. So, so let's just go through. So you have Evil Eye Protection, Flamingo Fun, Yield Patience, Yin Yang Balance. Oh, that's pretty. Mountains, Obstacles. That's fun. I totally get where somebody would go with that, why they might think that way about mountains. I never feel that way about mountains, though. Mountains, to me, are a very spiritual place, very uplifting and empowering, and I don't know. It's, everybody's different. Rainbow Hope. I love that. I love that it's on the refrigerator like that. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry if you heard that. My stomach. I haven't eaten. Feather Messages. Heart. Love. And I love that these are just like random everyday things. I think that's so fabulous. Crystals. Achievement. That's interesting. I don't know if that's where I'd go with it, but we'll see what the guidebook says, maybe, if I remember. Coins. Good luck. Really, I love the way these were drawn. Clouds. Distractions. That's a really interesting way to think about clouds, and I think that one's really point on, and it's not something I would have picked. If you said, give me a word for clouds, that wouldn't have been probably even in my top 100. But now that I'm seeing that, I'm like, absolutely. So I love that. I love that, get that expansion. Peace, harmony. Medical staff, healing. Angel numbers, confirmation. That's really cute. Serendipity Boulevard. It's just fabulous. Labyrinth, journey. Anchor, stability. Key, opportunity. Oh, I love that little inclusion. These are really nicely done. Love this. Palm, destiny. Wow, this card is so evocative. Reminds me a little bit of the Assassin's Guild in Elder Scrolls, but I'm just saying. But I love that. Dice, chance. I always wanted fuzzy dice for my car like that. I never got any. I think I feel like I've passed that time for that, but mirror, reflection. Recycle, recover. I love that. Butterfly, metamorphosis. Moon, emotions. Phrases, motivation. Love that. Never give up. Cowrie shell, abundance. Fence, boundaries. Lotus flower, enlightenment. Oh, I love that. Crown, personal power. Skull, endings. Smiley face, joy. That does bring me joy, can I just tell you? That's so cute and just fun. Globe, possibility. Traffic cone, caution. Stars, divine guidance. Sunflower, action. That's interesting because, again, that's one that I definitely wouldn't have thought to really pair with sunflowers, and that's my favorite. That's my flower. But, I say all the time, I'm a woman of action. Once I decide something, boom, that's it. We're doing it. It's really interesting. And, sunflowers are the flower of action because they always move to follow the sun. I really like this. I really like that this is the second one that really strongly expanded the way I think of something. Just flipping through. Not relationships. Power lines, energy. Bees, community. These are just so beautifully done. I love the art. I really, really do. Succulents, resilience. Love succulents. Oh, wow. Water, surrender. This is so beautifully evocative. Oh. Bullseye, focus. Lightning, disruption. Tree, ancestry. I love the way this was done. I mean, these are really so clever. Infinity, unlimited potential. Firefly, wonder. Oh, I love that. These are, and have I mentioned how much I love these packs? They're so nice. Okay, let's give it a shuffle. And they shuffle beautifully. And we're going to pick one and read from the guidebook, and then I'll lay them out so you can see how they might look in a reading. And can I tell you, I think I meant to just do like a quick look and not a full flip through, but I guess we're doing full flip throughs, so, you know. Okay. Power lines, energy. And so they do have the numbers, and they are in order by the number. You know. So very, very easy to find in the guidebook. Energy constantly flows through power lines and provides a vital resource that isn't easy to take for granted. It's just there. Think of your energy in the same way as it runs through your body. It is important to take note of how you feel and where you are energetically. Do you feel tired? Overactive? This could be a sign of an imbalance that could easily lead to burnout and a loss of your own power. On the other hand, proper rest and energy work can balance and recharge you. This card is also a reminder that energy is ever present and connects us all. Surround yourself with those who complement and reciprocate your energy. You may also be a source of empowerment for others, which can lead to fulfilling connections. Energy is tricky, so what you may be feeling may not be your own. It is important to check with yourself to be able to make the distinction. Follow the flow as it crisscrosses your body like power lines through a city block or on a country road. Additional meanings: beware of burnout, look into energy healing, mood swings, and energy boost. I gotta tell you, I am loving this deck so much more than I expected. When I ordered it, I thought, this is certainly very different, and I do like different. And I felt like it would add a nice contrast isn't even the right word. A sort of highlight in my readings, I imagine picking one card as like a boom, this, you know what I mean? But I gotta tell you, going through this deck is so much more than I thought it would be. And I love the way it feels and sounds and looks. So I think that, I still think it could be very powerful as that one card, boom, there. And I think because for me, compared to my other decks, it's very, very different. I think that lends power to that. You know what I mean? But I really, really like these. I do think that I'm going to be using more than just that one card. Although I will still use that one card because I do think it's very powerful. And you could use this so many different ways. You could even use the book, for example. Say you were out and about and something really struck you. You don't know why. You're like, you know what? I just, I saw these coins, right? I saw these coins on the street and I don't know. They stuck with me. There was something about them. You could go through, I'm pretty sure I already pulled them. You could go through, pull out the card to maybe meditate on or look at, but then you can just look them up here because we do have what the card is. So there's coins. Turn to that page, read the message. You know what I mean? So that could be another really nice way to do it. Or you could say, what's something that I need more of? Like, what do I want to cultivate? Maybe you could pull this out. Right? Pull out the card, say, I need healing. Sorry. You could say, I just need healing. Maybe pull this card out, have it out, and watch for signs from the universe throughout your day. Watch for signs from medical staff, whether it's an ambulance or maybe a doctor plate on a license plate, or maybe it's a person in a white coat, or whatever it is, and then maybe notice. And that could be a really interesting exercise, actually. And if you take note of each time you encountered this, what was that like? What was that like for you? You're driving in traffic, you're feeling really, really lousy, right? Maybe you're physically just feeling not the best, maybe mentally, emotionally, whatever it is. And you're sitting there in traffic, and then you see this ambulance pull up in front, and I don't know, maybe you feel a little different. Maybe there's a feeling of hope for the future. Maybe there's a feeling that the universe cares and is working to help you. Whatever it is for you. But that could be a really interesting exercise to do. There's the coins. But I really like this deck. I think this is going to be a lot of fun to use in a lot of different ways. And by fun, I do not mean in any way to kind of minimize the importance or the strength of this deck. I think this deck can be very, very powerful. Very, very useful. So I'm so I'm so pleased, so surprised by how much I love this deck. And by how useful I think it's going to be to me in different situations. You know what I mean? Okay, we have one more. And that is Talking to Heaven by James Van Praagh. These are mediumship cards. And I have one of his other decks that I really like. And this is one that that I thought would be really good for client work specifically. So let's see. So just to give you an idea about this. Your loved ones in heaven want to talk with you and share their love and reassurance to help heal your grief. With these Talking to Heaven mediumship cards, you can ask a departed friend or family member a question and receive answers through the 44 beautiful cards in the deck and the messages in the accompanying guidebook. So I want to show you these cards. We'll get to the guidebook later. I want to do the cards first. So I do. Well, these are the backs. Look how pretty. And they move nicely. It's not a slippery gloss. They're glossy, but so it's not slippery, right? It's not sliding all over, but it's not sticky really either, because you can fan them out nicely. So I don't do mediumship work, right? But sometimes the work I do, let's just say there's an overlap, and I feel like this deck might be useful. So we're just gonna, I'm not gonna. All right. So, although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. Oh, I love this. As a soul, I can be in several places at once. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Now, you can, don't be afraid. You could use these just as a message from the universe, right? You can, obviously, whatever way you want to take them. I always give you a good night kiss. I am here helping you. I think these would be great too with ancestor work. I am just a thought away. I love, see the, how we have that consistency throughout. I really like that. I am learning over here. I am not dead. And this could be, again, you don't have to use them like mediumship. This could be, maybe there was a dream that you had, a dream for yourself. And if you were doing a reading on that and pulled that, right? A dream's not dead. Maybe it's been a little neglected, but it's still alive. I'm so much better now. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. This could be a great deck to use for parts work too. If you want to communicate with that part of you that, maybe it's doing its own thing, right? We all have all these different parts. Yeah, it's like, well, there's a part of me that wants to do this, but there's another part that wants to do that. Sometimes it's very beneficial to kind of connect with those parts and figure out, what is it you want from me? What do I need to do for you to get on board with this other thing, right? If you want to quit doing a certain habit, there's part of you that wants to stop it, but there's another part that doesn't. Otherwise, you just stop. So these could be great cards for that too. I'm standing right next to you. Oh, I'm surrounded by loving animals. I am with the rest of the family. I feel healthy and happy. If I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. I had to leave that way. Well, I have a new understanding. I have become one of your guides. I have no more earthly worries. I see all of your thoughts. I send you loving signs through nature. It is beautiful where I am. It is not your fault. it was my time to go. I mean, the imagery is beautiful. I was met by so many loving people. I watch over you every day. I will always point you in the right direction. I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. Life is a series of choices. That's what I always say. Choose love. My death was painless. Please don't worry or hold on to guilt. So this one's a little on the nose. But again, there are many kinds of deaths, right? So, and now, if you want to work with this in the way it's intended, I think that would be great too. But, my mind is free. I just feel like there are so many possibilities with this deck. Now I have no pain. Remember me by the happy memories we created. Tears cleanse the soul. The earth is our school. That's true. There's no such thing as death. I agree with that too. There is no time where I am. Time is only on the earth. We are so connected. We are soulmates. We have been together in dreams. We will be together again. You are never alone. Oh, very true. You have nothing to feel guilty about. Also very true. Wait, wasn't that in here already? I thought there was. I mean, it's a powerful message, so, well, don't hold on to guilt. Oh, and it's not your fault. Great messages. Really great messages. Let me shuffle, and then I'm going to pick one, and we'll read from the guidebook. Again, this deck is presented as a very niche deck, and I certainly think it can be great for that niche, but I don't think it has to be restricted to that. I love repurposing things. I don't know if you could tell, but I do. And I just love finding new ways to work with things, or create things. So, anyway. Oh, I love that. Okay, so now there are no numbers. Is it in alphabetical order? I don't think so. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Okay, so let's look at the beginning. He's got a ton of books, by the way, and other decks. So the table of contents, it does have like 14 pages about how to work with the cards in really nice large print, can I say? Love that. So then if you want to find your message, basically just gonna have to go through. I mean, it's not terrible. So you wanna, I wish, so I found it pretty quickly. Page 73. Okay, so we have a black and white color, or black and white image of the card. So you could also, if you want to kind of flip through, and I feel like you could probably find it pretty easily doing that. So we have the text from the card, really large bold print, and I quite like that. It just kind of re-emphasizes. So I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. It's funny, when I first came over here, and had a chance to look back at my earthly life, I realized the way in which my own insecurities and fears held me back from expressing the true innermost parts of my heart. I was so caught up in my own day-to-day life that I didn't take the time to express myself like I should have. If you could look up to the sky right now, you would see "I love you" written by the clouds and colored by the stars. From my spiritual perspective, I know all the little things you did quietly for me and can't thank you enough. Love continues to live on in your heart, and together we can be reassured that it can never die. That's wonderful. And, depending on how you're working with the deck, I feel like this is open enough that you could take this as guidance, right? What do I need to do? What do I need to... Maybe you need to start telling people how much you love them. Tell them the things that you appreciate, that you notice about them. The things that are wonderful about them. And while you're at it, tell yourself those same things. Just saying. So I'm really excited by this deck. I think that it has a lot of potential use for me, for client work and for myself as well. Really interesting. So, let me know what you think. I feel like this was maybe a little bit long. So I had meant to just do like a quick flip through, like a partial of the decks, and I got carried away, obviously. But yeah, I'm really pleased with these decks. Excited by the books. Hay House, get some darker print. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading these and using the decks. And let me know what you think. If you have any of these books, how did you enjoy them? And of course, if you have these decks, how are you using that? If you have it, how are you loving this? That's fabulous. And oh my goodness. So anyway, until next time, just be wonderful to yourself. Be really, really wonderful, because you deserve the best, only the best, all the best, and that is my wish for you.